Let's bring in the Jack Brewer Foundation chairman, former NFL player Jack Brewer, Aerial Recovery Chief Development Officer Charlie Keebaugh, and a commercial airline pilot who was volunteering as a helicopter pilot for search and rescue missions, Mark Roseman. Gentlemen, thank you all for coming on. This is a very important topic here. I want to go to you first, Mark Roseman, because the whole idea of this helicopter pilot being told that he's to stand down or be arrested. What do you make of that, sir?
That hasn't happened to us, but I've heard of it happening, and that would just be devastated if they told us that, to have all those kind of supplies and all the kind of support we have on board to get people out of the critical areas. And if a law enforcement agency came and threatened us like that, I don't even know how I would act.
Especially when you're performing a vital service. Charlie, I want to put this video up because the video is actually of Mark Roseman and, the saving of this 11-day-old baby there. But it's the baby being rescued. Roseman was the pilot. But what do you think of the response overall to those victims of Hurricane Helene?
I would say the response to the hurricane has been amazing by the civilians and the communities coming together to support each other. I just saw a stat that said 1,000 FEMA officials. I've not seen a single FEMA person here. That's not to say they aren't here, but we're hitting all the hardest hit areas. We're visiting those towns, and there's not a single FEMA official or government official there. You bring up the helicopter being turned away or being threatened to be arrested. That same town tried to kick us out of that town the same day. We had 15 rescue trained personnel, 2 amazing vehicles with all sorts of capabilities, and we were threatened to even be there.
That's just crazy. To you now, Jack Brewer, you've been on the show a few times. I know your foundation is doing yeoman's work, and you have for many years. What's the biggest need, Jack, when you go around? What are you hearing? What are you seeing?
I mean, it's the basics. You're talking about underwear and socks, and these people lost it all. I mean, taking on 20 foot of storm surge, the houses that look like they're normal are just not. You have a massive amounts of mold, and so cleaning is very important, and moving the debris. I've got about 14 second chance heroes that go around with me. You see them on a camera, and we are cutting down trees, helping veterans. There's so many elderly and veterans and people that have served this nation that need help, man, just to get into their houses. And so it's a shame that it's taken a week for the military and the U.S. government to get on the ground. I haven't seen FEMA, and so they may be there, but the presence is not felt. And we're too strong of a nation to have our people suffering like this.
That's exactly right. I want to go back to you, Mark Roseman, because when I talked to you with Kevin Cork earlier about Elon Musk and these Starlinks, I know you're trying to get a Starlink for your helicopter so that you can go after people and you can put them in contact with people they love. It's very important. Why?
Yes, if we had a Starlink on board, which we're trying to get one, we hadn't had any luck yet, we could go into these places where these people are trapped and have no communication, and they can come up to us and we can let them sign on for as long as we're there, and they can get communication out to family, friends, tell everybody they're all right, tell them what they need. It's just imperative that we try to at least get one for us to ride around. I mean, I can't imagine not being able to talk to anybody, and even if they know you're alive or not.
I think that's exactly right. The co-founder of Save Our Allies, Tim Kennedy, said this about FEMA. Play this, and I've got a little bit of time to let both of you respond. Watch.
I went to put a couple of people into a hotel last night, and they have a security guard at the hotel. And they said, "Oh, we're so sorry. The entire hotel has been booked for federal employees." And I was like, no, I have people that would just pull it out of a mountain that are living out in the hills, and there's not a place for me to put them because we have federal employees that are staying in the hotel.
We got 15 seconds for you, Charlie. We found FEMA. They're in the hotel.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It really does.
I bet they have great breakfast.
Yeah, I bet they have great breakfast, too. Lastly, Jack, to you, Ron DeSantis and Florida don't seem to have these problems. They learned a long time ago not to rely on FEMA.
That's right. Ron DeSantis, emergency management, Kevin Guthrie here in Florida. We do things a little bit different down here. Me and my guys will be leaving here in about 3.5 hours. heading over. The reason why we do that is so we don't take up the hotels. And so we come back, we drive 4, 5, 6 hours, and we go in there because that's what the people need. We need a new approach in this country, man. We need our veterans and military guys working. We need organizations like the Jack Brewer Foundation locking arms with my brothers from Aerial. And by the way, I've been on the ground with Aerial Recovery in Haiti, pulling people out of the trenches. And so, we need to work together again as this nation, man, and stand for America and show this country how to get this stuff done. We don't need the big government anymore. Vote
Jack
for
Brewer,
Trump.
Jack Brewer, Charlie Nebaugh, Mark Roseman, thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it.